Oh, there was one thing that you mentioned, your daughter. I know there has been quite a number of changes that were basically proposed for daycare for, I guess, babies and people that want to use daycare services and after school services. What is it
Mhm.
like for you? Like, bear in mind, guys, I don't know anything about the one in Ontario. So if you want to know about Ontario, go ahead and Google it. But I'll just ask for your sake for daycare and even maternity leave because it's very different from back home.
Okay, so let's start with maternity leave. Um, in Jamaica, you get 10 weeks paid vacation
Yes.
for mat leave, and then 2 weeks if you want to go to 12 weeks. I think you get the 2 weeks unpaid. This is for most organizations. Some organizations will give more based on their own internal policy, but typically you're back to work after giving birth in 2.5 months.
Mhm.
In Canada, it's such a lovely program here. I really enjoyed being on mat leave. The minimum is a year. You have the 12-month maternity program, and you have the 18-month
Mhm.
maternity, or rather, I should say parental program,
Yes.
parental leave. So my husband and I, we opted for the 12 months, and the first 3 months, it's it's only for the mother. And
Yes.
then after 3 months, for the remainder of the 12 months,
Period.
it can be between either parents.
Mhm.
So I spent the first 9 months I spent the first 3 months on maternity leave, and
Mhm.
then the remaining, the next 6 months on parental leave. That's
Yeah.
how it's considered. So
Mhm.
maternity is still only for 3 months,
But
and
right.
parental is from 3 to the end, three
Yeah.
to 12 or 3 to 18, whichever you choose.
Mhm.
Now, the way it works is in Alberta, you are, if you are full-time employed for a minimum of 26 weeks,
Mhm.
you are eligible to apply for parental and maternity leave.
Yeah.
And whatever you are earning right now, you would get 55%
Okay.
of your income, or
Mhm.
whatever the cap they've set. So
Yes.
let's say, for example, the cap is $40,000,
Mhm.
but your 55% works out to be you were earning 28,000. I'm just using rough numbers here. Your 55% would be 12 or $15,000. You'd get $15,000. But let's say you were earning
Yeah.
$100,000 prior to maternity leave.
We'll get that for
Your 55% would be like 55,000. But if
yeah.
the cap is 40, you're
Yeah.
only getting 40.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know what? Getting half of your salary and being able to stay home and enjoy your child and bond with your child is such an invaluable experience. It
Yeah.
was really a game changer for me. I
Mhm.
was able to be a mom without having to worry about
Mhm.
um oh, I'm going to lose my job. And I went back to work and my job was secure. And
Mhm.
Denton was able to enjoy staying home and bonding with our daughter as well. And he loved it. He really he actually said to me, I would have taken it earlier had I known that it was going to be this great.
Yeah.
And he went back to his job. He applied after I did, long after,
Mhm.
but his job gave him leave and he took it and he went back and it was not an issue. I
Mhm.
have friends who've taken 18 months, but the difference is if you're taking 18 months, you get a third.
Less. I think
You
33%.
get the same amount, sorry, you get the same 55%, but then it's spread across 18 months. So in
Oh,
session,
I thought it
essentially,
was like closer to the end, like the last six, you get 33. I can't remember. I read it the other day, but I can't fully remember. But okay.
so how it works, is like if you earn $100,000 for the year,
Mm-hmm.
55% feels like half of your salary. If you work $100,000 for the year, 55% across 18 months
Yeah.
feels differently. So you essentially get like a third of your
Yeah.
salary monthly instead of half. That
Okay.
makes sense?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
makes sense. I
Yeah.
know a lot of persons, especially like if you're here and people are, let's say for example, international student, and you come up with like your spouse or whatever, and you get pregnant, people are worried that yes, you're working full time, but when you just start, they don't really pay you a lot here. So let's say, for example, somebody is making $40,000 for the year.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
People would be worried to say, where am I going to get that other 45%? Because when it's
Mm-hmm.
one person versus two, or, two proper pay, where,
Mm-hmm.
55% is fine, or 40,000 for the year is fine. Is
Mm-hmm.
there a child subsidy that they give you once the child um is born, basically?
I think
In
I
that
think
time.
each province has their own child benefit program, and
Mhm.
then there's a Canadian-wide child benefit program. So
Mhm.
for Alberta, that program is based on your income.
Okay.
So based on your salary, you would qualify for, not sure, I've never gotten it because we never qualified for Alberta based on the joint household income. We
Mhm.
exceeded the limit. So I've never gotten the provincial child benefit, but I got the the federal child benefit for my daughter.
You
And
get
I think
it in the,
you get that every month.
so you get
Yeah,
that in maternity period.
you get that.
After?
So depending on when you file your taxes, so everything is based on your taxes,
Ah.
right?
Mhm.
So I did not get the child benefit until after I had, yeah, after I had my daughter. And then the amount changed. Yes, that's what happened. The federal amount changed the following year because I had been on maternity leave. My annual income had changed, and so I got more,
Mm.
right? So
Mhm.
by the time I finished my maternity leave and I went back to work and my salary went back up, the amount went down.
Ah.
So yeah,
Okay.
it went down. So
Okay.
it's looking at, so this is the federal benefit. We're not talking about child care here. This is the child benefit. It's for your child.
Yeah.
So if you're on maternity leave or you've reduced your income because you're taking care of your son or your daughter, the
Mhm.
government will give you the difference
Or-
based on your last filed taxes. Once
Mm.
you go back to work and your salary increases, you may qualify or you may not qualify, but typically the amount will be reduced.
Less. So basically, for persons wondering, so basically at 55%, that's what you get when you're working full time. But once, so
Not full time, not full time. You need to be working in Alberta. I can only speak
for
for Alberta.
26 weeks,
You have to
full
be
time, or just 26
26
weeks,
weeks. Yeah,
no full time, no nothing, just 26 weeks. Oh,
26 weeks.
okay, so basically, if you're working 26 weeks and you have your child, you'll get more during your maternity leave than probably when you return to work based on your salary,
For
essentially.
the child benefit.
Yes, for the child benefit.
For the child benefit.
Mm-hmm.
For your income, you don't get more. You
Yeah,
get less.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, all right. Okay, that makes sense. And then childcare now. So, for example, when you're going to work and you need to leave your baby at daycare,
Mm-hmm.
I know here in Ontario, people were, really down about it because I heard people can pay up to $1,000 for 2 weeks at daycare. So it was a big point, but I've not heard about any change. There might be, but for Alberta, is there like any new implementations that happen in?
Yes. So this month, actually, the government, the provincial government, the Alberta government, rolled out the reduced child subsidy program. So last year, they signed an agreement with the federal government that
Mhm.
would provide a subsidized amount to help moms go back to work. Because
Yeah,
essentially what was happening, that the amount of money you were spending for daycare
you're not going
was, you
there.
were going to work to pay daycare.
Yeah,
It's that was it. You can easily spend over $1,000 for daycare last year. I was spending that, right? Um, and then effective January 1, they made adjustments to the rules based again on salary. So it's an equitable chart. So
okay.
depending on, yeah, so depending on your income as a household, you may be paying as low as what would work out to be $10 a day, or as high as $18 a day,
That's
depending on where you fall. But
yeah.
essentially, you're paying nowhere near what you were paying last year.
Mm-hmm.
So $18 a day times, let's say $15 a day times 20,
Mm-hmm.
that's what?
300.
300. $300 to the month if your
Not bad.
child going to school. Not bad, right?
And not
Not
bad
bad.
at all.
So, and it also depends on the age of the child.
Yeah.
So the older your child is,
Mm-hmm.
the lower the amount is going to be. So with my daughter's childcare, before the changes, there were prices for childcare based on age groups because some kids need more help than some. A 1-year-old, you're gonna have to feed them, they need potty change, whatever. So it's gonna cost you more for a younger child than an older child. So I got my notice from my child's daycare, and once she changes into the next age group, her
Mm-hmm.
childcare will go down, right?
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's based on the age and it's based on the income bracket that the household falls in. So it's a really great program. I'm so happy for it. So happy for it because childcare was so expensive before.
Mm.
And so moms with 1, 2 children are now enrolling into childcare, putting your kids into child, and they're entering the workforce, which is what we need, right? We need more
That's
people back in the workforce.
yeah, that's amazing because it will eventually help the economy, right?
Yes,
That's
and as newcomers, permanent residents, you qualify automatically for this, right? So if you're landing with your families and you want to enroll your kids into daycare, you'd qualify as
yeah,
well.
yeah, awesome. Like that's really good. I think we have covered a lot of information.
Mhm.
I think it's very, very useful for people that are coming as landed and even for international students coming in. It's very important that, when you're coming to a new country, you take some time to watch these videos and to read, because these videos are not adequate enough. It's just a ballpark so that you can see real people in real time, whether we are from your country or not. You get to see exactly our life. Immigrants, we have done it, you can too. It just requires a little bit of dedication.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think that's all for today. And as usual, guys, thank you for watching this video. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Share it with all your friends, everybody that you know interested in coming to Canada, so that they know Alberta is the place to go, not
Yes.
Ontario. But anyways, thank you guys. Cheers.